When you think of Katherine Schwarzenegger Pratt, you might picture the daughter of Hollywood royalty or the wife of a Marvel superhero. But today, we're not talking about fame, red carpets, or movie premieres. We're talking about something far more personal: the quiet, colorful world of children's books. Katherine has become a familiar name in this space, winning hearts not with headlines, but with heartfelt stories that speak directly to young readers. In a recent exclusive for the Sunday paper, she opened up about what it truly takes to write a book for little ones. And it's not as simple or easy as many might think. Writing for children, she reveals, is a delicate balance of creativity, empathy, and honesty. It's about capturing the curiosity of young minds while weaving lessons that last a lifetime. And for Katherine, that challenge is both humbling and deeply rewarding. In her interview, Katherine described how every story begins with a spark, a single, honest emotion or memory that reminds her of childhood. Sometimes it's the sound of laughter echoing in a playground, or the moment of kindness between two friends. She explains that children can spot authenticity instantly. If a story doesn't feel true, they'll know it. That's why she writes from real feelings, the kind of emotions that stay universal, no matter how old you are. She says, "Kids are so much smarter than we give them credit for. They can sense when something comes from the heart." This philosophy guides her creative process. Before she even writes a word, she spends time reflecting on what she wants children to feel after reading. Is it comfort? Inspiration? Hope? That emotional core becomes the foundation for everything that follows, from the rhythm of sentences to the illustrations that bring her words to life. Katherine's journey as a children's author didn't start overnight. Before her bestsellers, she faced plenty of uncertainty and self-doubt. She admits that writing for children can be intimidating, not because of the audience's age, but because of their honesty. Young readers don't pretend to enjoy something they don't connect with. There's no hiding behind complex language or dramatic twists. Every word must count. When you're writing for kids, she says, you're writing for an audience that demands truth. For her, that means stripping away everything unnecessary and focusing on pure storytelling, the kind that feels simple but carries deep meaning. Over time, she learned that the most powerful children's stories aren't necessarily the loudest or funniest ones. They're the stories that remind readers, both young and old, to be kind, to stay curious, and to keep believing in something good. When asked about her writing routine, Katherine smiled and admitted there's no secret formula. Some days, she writes early in the morning, before her home wakes up. Other days, she scribbles notes while sitting with her daughters, letting their energy inspire her. "Children change how you see the world," she said, "and that perspective shapes every story I tell." She draws from her own experiences as a mother, but also from her memories as a child growing up in a large, loving family. Those moments, the bedtime talks, the silly jokes, the lessons learned from mistakes, all find their way into her pages. For Katherine, writing is a form of connection. It's her way of sharing what she's learned about love, kindness, and resilience with a new generation. And through her stories, she hopes parents will rediscover those lessons too, reading side by side with their kids. One of the most revealing parts of her conversation was about the misconceptions people have about children's books. Many assume they're easy to write, short, simple, and playful. But as Katherine pointed out, the shorter the story, the harder it can be. Every word must carry meaning. Every line has to serve the emotional rhythm of the story. She compared it to writing poetry, where each sentence needs to resonate. You can't hide behind length or complexity, she explained. You have to make a few words do a lot of work, and that's what makes it so special. It's storytelling in its purest form, stripped of ego, filled only with heart. Her process involves endless rewrites, feedback from editors, and testing how her words sound when read aloud. Because as she says, a children's book should feel like music. You should want to read it out loud again and again. Another part of her creative world revolves around collaboration with illustrators. Catherine believes that the art in a children's book isn't just decoration. It's storytelling too. She often spends months working with illustrators to find the perfect tone, color palette, and emotional depth for each page. She says the pictures need to speak as powerfully as the words do, especially for young readers who interpret visuals faster than text. Together, they build entire worlds, ones that feel comforting, bright, and real. She recalls moments when an illustrator captured something she hadn't even realized she was trying to express, like the way a child's eyes widen in wonder, or how a hug can feel like home. Those moments remind her that storytelling, especially for children, is a team effort. It's a blend of vision, patience, and shared imagination that turns a simple idea into something timeless. Catherine also opened up about how her upbringing influenced her writing. Being part of a well-known family meant growing up around people who valued hard work, purpose, and giving back. Her mother, Maria Shriver, often encouraged her to use her voice to make a difference, a lesson Catherine carries into her books. Each story, she says, has a message woven subtly within it about compassion, kindness, or self-acceptance. But she's careful not to preach. Instead, she lets children discover meaning naturally through the characters' journeys. Stories should show, not tell, she explains. That approach keeps her writing authentic and emotionally honest. Her books don't lecture, they invite reflection. And that's part of what makes them resonate with both kids and adults, who often find themselves just as moved by her stories as their children do. As her career continues to grow, Catherine hopes her books will spark more family conversations. She wants parents to use her stories as bridges, moments to connect, listen, and laugh together. She emphasizes that children's literature isn't just about entertainment. It's about shaping empathy and understanding from a young age. In a world filled with noise, these small, quiet stories can teach the most powerful lessons of all. She believes that when a child sees themselves in a book, whether through words or pictures, they begin to understand their own value. That sense of belonging, she says, is the heart of storytelling. Her dream is for every child who reads her work to feel seen, loved, and inspired to be kind. It's a mission that continues to guide every new project she takes on, with passion and patience. In closing, Katherine Schwarzenegger Pratt's journey reminds us that writing for children is both an art and a calling. It demands vulnerability, patience, and a genuine love for the audience. Her success isn't defined by fame or family legacy, but by the quiet impact her stories have on little hearts and growing minds. Through her books, she's nurturing a generation that values kindness over judgment, empathy over indifference, and imagination over fear. As she continues to write and share, her voice becomes part of a larger movement, one that celebrates the beauty of simple truths told with sincerity. And in a time when the world feels rushed and divided, her gentle reminder rings loud and clear. Sometimes the most meaningful stories are the ones written with a child's heart in mind, honest, hopeful, and full of light.